A bad weekend to have bad qualifying. Pretty good practice times in both cars. We were in the top 3 or 4. Then we went into qualifying and broke in both cars. Yeah, we didn't even get a lap. Felt pretty good the first 3/4 of a lap though. Came around, blew a serpentine belt, no power steering, no water pump, which was a huge disadvantage because we'd come to find out the next day it was going to rain. The track was going to be super one-lined and made the back of the pack in both classes was definitely a kick in the pants. Crandon and Bark River, it just always seemed to have inclement weather and rain is always a factor. Yeah, very real chance Saturday that we weren't going to race. It just never stopped raining this year. Yeah, they pulled the trigger. We started running the sportsmen's and some of the kid classes, and it was sloppy. They were racing, so I'm glad they didn't cancel it. I think it's off-road racing. I think we need to be out there racing in all those conditions. We had all day to prep and think about, we're starting in the back, kind of put on your worst fiberglass panels, and it's muddy. There's going to be some carnage.
First lap in this class is absolute mayhem. You cannot get out of the groove at all.
There aren't many cases where that Pro Mod is harder to drive than the Pro 4, but I think Saturday at Bark River was one of those. That was definitely one of those races where if you were going to go from 7th to 1st, you're probably going to use your Nerf bars and bumpers a lot. End up losing a few spots just from not being where we needed to be.
Every time you got past, because you're out of the groove.
Being out on the cushion, getting sucked into that, it really just kind of robbed your momentum, which is really tough. It's easier in the Pro 4 to do that because you have all that horsepower to pull you back out of it. In that Pro Mod, you're already on the power, so when you hit the mud, you don't have anything else to give, and it just bogs you down. There weren't many passes being made in that whole class, and the ones that were, sometimes they'd go for a pass and lose 2 spots. So.
Ep.5, second half of the race was awesome, buddy. Second half was awesome, good job.
Coming out 5th, not where we wanted to be, but I think the biggest bummer was we never really got a clean lap because I know we had speed to be up with the front guys, and it just was a weird race. Coming out of the UTV, we had a good grasp on the track. I felt like it was definitely one of the times where we had an advantage already seeing that track that day and being out there.
Be smart, make sure we got a truck for the second half of this race and go get them. Green. Absolute chaos. Keep digging, watch out for that orange one, heads up.
Trying to get to that front, we were starting last. We had no qualifying lap. I knew that in that vehicle we could be less patient. Actually, I was pretty fired up to get in that thing and had a little chip on my shoulder.
Nice job. Track's a tick wider, but same thing. Gotta stay in the groove. It pushes really deep, really heavy, and it slows everybody right down to nothing.
Midway through that Pro 4 race, those trucks have enough power to blow that track off, and the bottom of the track actually started getting slippery. You had to have a tire that could get you out of the mud if you got in it, but at the same time, they take a lot of abuse on a mud race like that. When you're running in the good line, you can still burn the tire off pretty good, and you need as much rubber on it as you can get. Ended up making one little mistake on the last lap and bumped us back to 3rd. Coming from the back, having the issues in qualifying, getting up to 3rd place, it was a good feeling. I was pumped for the guys. If we could get a truck out there that was competitive and didn't break, that we were capable of running up front like that.
Good job, P3, buddy, P3, good job. Sorry we made that mistake there. We should have got second. Hey, we'll take that. It's been a tough year, but that was good. Good driving, it was a good job. Don't worry about it.
Having the support of Yokohama at a race like that at Bark River with challenging conditions and so many guys getting flat tires, they were a big part of the success we have on Saturday.
All right, let's go, Final, let's go.
Probably the most frustrating UTV race we've had. We started like 17th out of 20-some guys. We had good speed, but similar deal. Get bottled up behind a few slow guys, and there were some that we never ended up getting by. It's pretty disappointing. It felt like I let the guys down.
Clear.
Never got a chance to show what we were capable of.
P8. Good job.
I came off the track pretty heated. I don't even know. We had a good jump off the start. Got up next to some guys, and yeah, the track was still pretty narrow. A lot more guys seemed more aggressive than the day before, and yeah, so we kind of settled in. I think we were top 4 or 5. Had some good speed. Yeah, and then carnage kind of started. I started getting spun out. Yeah, we were right there. We got our groove and get the thing home.
P5, P5.
Wasn't anything to write home about finish-wise, but to finish all 4 days in all 4 classes, no mechanicals. It's the first time we've done that all year. We've been putting in a lot of work to get ourselves prepared for this last race. Yeah, Tanner Faust, he's a Yokohama teammate of mine. He's a rally legend, drift legend. The guy can drive, he's amazing. We just tested at Crandon and that's our next race. It's a good feeling, you know, coming off a test at a track. I'm really excited and I know Tanner is too.